New in the last 5 minutes, in the last hour, in the last 2 hours. Watch Gaza rioters use terror kites to drop firebombs in the last 4 hours. Could Alan Dershowitz rescue an Israeli being held hostage by Hamas? Israel destroys Hamas cross-border tunnel from Gaza. Israeli military destroys Hamas terror tunnel that was ready for use. Israel destroys lifeline tunnel from besieged Gaza. Israeli tanks shell besieged Gaza Strip, kill 4 civilians. Israeli army destroys deepest and longest tunnel from Gaza. Israel, longest and deepest Gaza tunnel destroyed. A new kind of violence driven by misery in the Gaza Strip. AP Analysis. Gaza flare-up driven by deep misery in Strip in the last 6 hours. Israel destroys longest Gaza tunnel. Watch IDF destroys longest and deepest Hamas terror tunnel. Hamas joins peaceful protests, but still speaks of deadly weapons. Israel says it destroyed longest and deepest Hamas tunnel in Gaza. Earlier today, Israel says it has destroyed Hamas tunnel network in Gaza. Israel says destroys tunnel from Gaza that crossed barrier. Israel says it destroys Hamas tunnel network in Gaza. IDF destroys longest and deepest Hamas cross-border attack tunnel. Terror tunnel infiltrating Israel destroyed. 4 Palestinian militants die in work accident in Gaza Strip yesterday. Islamic Jihad says accidental blast claimed 4 of its own. PA official. Egypt asked Hamas to stop Gaza protests. Medical supplies in Gaza run low as Israel attacks more Palestinians. Israeli Arabs support violent Gaza riots. Gaza weekly protests still attract substantial numbers of Palestinians. 4 Palestinians killed in blast near Gaza Israel border. Ministry. The Nation. American laws can help stop Israeli massacres in Gaza. Israeli Navy continues to prevent fishing off Gaza shores. 4 killed in Israeli shelling east of Rafah. Great March of Return. Israeli fire kills 4 Palestinians in Gaza. Israeli tanks shell Gaza Strip, kill 4 Palestinians. 4 Islamic Jihad members killed in Gaza. Work accident. Blast. Gaza flare-up driven by deep misery in Strip. 4 Gaza militants killed in blast near Israel border. Islamic Jihad. Palestinians. Mysterious blast in Gaza kills 4. Several killed in mystery blast in Gaza. Palestinian killed by Israeli army fire in Gaza. Where is Israel's outrage at the appalling massacre in Gaza? Gaza protests. Will Israel stop using deadly force? Palestinians report 4 killed by Israeli army in Gaza Strip. B'Tselem dismisses Israel's investigation into Gaza killings as propaganda. AP Analysis. Gaza flare-up has been years in the making. Israel forces continue to shoot to kill Gaza protesters. Israeli forces kill 1, injure hundreds of Palestinian protesters in Gaza. 1 killed, hundreds injured at Gaza border and burn flags. Friday, Israeli troops again target peaceful protests with live ammunition and more than 900 injured and 1 killed in Gaza. There are no innocent people in the Gaza Strip. Members of U.S. Congress release statement on Gaza protests. 1 killed, 969 wounded in recent Palestine-Israel clashes. 1 killed and 500 wounded in clashes at Gaza border. Protest officials. 1 Palestinian killed, 163 wounded by Israeli fire. New clashes on Gaza-Israel border after deadly violence. Women at the front lines of Gaza protests in the last 7 days. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders circulates congressional letter over Gaza crisis. 3 weeks. How Gaza's mass protests are failing to make an impact. Israel targets reporters, medics in Gaza protests. Another Palestinian martyred in anti-occupation protest. Thousands of Palestinians riot on Israel-Gaza border. 1 dead, thousands of Palestinians charge border. Nearly 1,000 Palestinians injured in Gaza-Israel border protests. 2 views of the Gaza protests from each side of the border fence in Gaza. A march into the unknown. 1 Palestinian killed, dozens injured in clashes on Gaza-Israel border. Palestinian killed by Israeli fire. Clashes rage on Gaza-Israel border. Gaza. 1 Palestinian killed and hundreds injured in clashes. Israeli